Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that sounds harmless but can quietly ruin everything you're working for. Too many people in this world rely on one thing to keep them moving forward, their mood. When they feel good, they work. When they feel inspired, they take action. When they feel positive, they make plans. But the moment their mood drops, they slow down, they hesitate, and they stop. And that, my friends, is why so many dreams die before they ever get the chance to grow. You see, a good mood is like the sunshine. It feels wonderful when it's there. It makes everything look bright and it gives you energy. But just like sunshine, it doesn't last forever. Clouds come, rain comes, storms come. If your only plan is to work when the sun is out, you will spend most of your life waiting instead of building. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who depend on feeling good all the time. They are the ones who keep moving when the sky is dark, when they are tired, when no one is cheering for them, and when it feels like nothing is working. If you depend on a good mood to do your work, you are building your life on something that changes every single day. Some mornings, you will wake up excited and ready to take on the world. Other mornings, you will feel like staying in bed, hiding from your problems, and doing nothing. The truth is, your mood is not a reliable leader. It changes too often and doesn't care about your goals. The real winners are those who learn to act, whether they feel like it or not. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is the force that keeps you moving when excitement fades. You can't control the weather, but you can control your effort. You can't always control how you feel, but you can control what you do. Every day, you have to make a choice. Do you let your feelings decide your future, or do you let your vision decide your actions? If you only work when you feel good, you are handing over your destiny to your emotions. Life is unpredictable. Some days will break you, some days will lift you, and some days will feel so normal that you will wonder if anything is even happening. In all of this, your mood will keep changing. If you're not careful, you will spend your life starting and stopping, never building the momentum you need to succeed. Greatness is not built in short bursts of energy. It's built in consistent, steady action, even when your mind is screaming for you to stop. Think about the people you admire. Do you think they got to where they are by only working on the days they felt amazing? They worked when they were tired, when they were frustrated, when things weren't going right, and when no one believed in them. They understood something that most of people ignore. That mood is a visitor, but commitment is a resident. The danger of relying on a good mood is that it tricks you into thinking progress is tied to emotion. You start believing, I'm not in the right headspace, so I can't do my best work today. That is a lie. Some of your most important progress will happen on the days when you feel the worst, because that is when you prove to yourself that you are not controlled by how you feel. That is when you take power away from your mood and give it back to your goals. If you let your mood control your effort, then every obstacle will feel like a reason to stop. You'll say, I'm too stressed, I'm too sad, I'm too busy. But if you make effort a habit, you will keep going even when everything in you says to quit. That's where the real growth happens. That's when you separate yourself from the people who only work when it's easy. You must learn to work through bad moods, to keep your commitments no matter what. Imagine if a pilot only flew the plane when they felt like it. Imagine if a surgeon only operated When they were in a cheerful mood, the world would be chaos. The truth is, professionals don't wait for the perfect mood. They act because they have trained themselves to act. They know that action itself often changes how you feel. Sometimes taking action is what creates the good mood you are waiting for. How many times have you felt lazy, but once you started working, your energy came back? That's because action feeds motivation, not the other way around. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for a bus in the middle of the desert. It may never come. And if it does, it won't take you very far. In your journey, there will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when you feel like giving up. If you rely on your mood, you will not make it to the finish line. But if you rely on your habits, your discipline, and your vision, nothing can stop you. You must decide today that your mood is not your master, your goals are. Every dream you have will demand a sacrifice, and that sacrifice will not always feel good. Sometimes you will be lonely. Sometimes you will be misunderstood. Sometimes you will doubt yourself. But in those moments, you must remember why you started. Your reason has to be stronger than your feelings. You are not here to be controlled by temporary emotions. You are here to build something permanent. The people who succeed are not the ones who feel great every day. They are the ones who refuse to let a bad day become a bad week, and a bad week become a bad life. So stop waiting for the perfect mood. Stop waiting for the sun to shine before you move. Get up, do the work, and keep going no matter what. Your future self is not going to ask how you felt on the days you worked. They will only care that you did it. Do not let a good mood be your only strategy. Let your strategy be discipline, consistency, and a vision. Moods will change. Feelings will come and go, but your commitment must stay unshaken. That is how you build something that lasts. That is how you turn a dream into reality. That is how you win. Many people fail not because they don't have talent, not because they don't have opportunity, but because they only work when they feel like it. They are prisoners of their mood. Think about it. How many times have you made a plan at night, feeling motivated, excited, telling yourself, tomorrow I will wake up early, I will start, I will give my best. And then the morning comes. The bed is warm, the alarm feels too loud, your body feels heavy, and your mind whispers, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. That whisper is the voice of your mood. And if you listen to it every time, years will pass, and you'll still be standing in the same place, only with more regret. The truth is, success doesn't care about your feelings. Business doesn't care about your feelings. The market doesn't care about your feelings. Life will move forward with or without you. If you let feelings decide your actions, you will always be one step behind. The most dangerous thing about using a good mood as your strategy is that you start living like a tourist in your own life. You go from place to place, activity to activity, only when it feels comfortable. But leaders, builders, visionaries, they don't live like tourists. They live like architects. They plan, they work, they lay brick after brick, even when the weather's bad, even when no one is clapping, even when they are tired. I've seen many talented people disappear because they believed motivation was enough. They thought, when I'm motivated, I'll work. But motivation is like a guest in your home. It visits, but it doesn't stay forever. You must learn to live without it and still keep your house in order. There's a saying, amateurs wait for inspiration. Professionals get up and go to work. In the real world, the people who win are not the ones who have the most inspiration. they are the ones who can keep going without it. When others slow down, they keep moving. When others complain, they find solutions. Let me tell you, mood is the most unreliable business partner you can ever have. Today it is with you, tomorrow it is gone. If you make your plans depending on it, you are building your future on sand. Every time your feelings shift, your progress will collapse. You need a foundation stronger than emotion. You need principles. One principle should be this: action first, mood second. Most people wait to feel ready before they act. That's backwards. The act of moving forward creates the energy and the readiness. When you start walking, your blood moves, your brain wakes up, your focus sharpens. But if you sit there waiting for the perfect mood, you will find yourself stuck. I remember meeting people who told me, I'll start my business when I feel more confident. I told them, you will never feel fully confident before you start. Confidence is something you build through doing, not something you wait for. It's the same with discipline. You don't become disciplined by waiting for the right mood. You become disciplined by taking action when the mood is wrong. If you look at nature, you'll see it doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Trees grow in rocky soil. Flowers bloom through cracks in the pavement. Rivers cut through hard stone. Nature moves forward no matter the mood of the weather. We must be the same. And here's something you must understand. Relying on mood doesn't just slow you down. It kills your momentum. Momentum is the invisible force that makes success easier over time. When you keep working day after day, you build a speed, you build a rhythm. But when you stop because you don't feel like it, you break that momentum, and starting again feels 10 times harder. The enemy is not always laziness. Sometimes the enemy is comfort. When you're in a good mood, you feel comfortable. And when you're in a bad mood, you feel like escaping discomfort. Either way, mood is pulling you away from the real work. Most people think the biggest obstacle is a lack of opportunity. Some think it's a lack of education, a lack of money, or lack of connections. But in reality, the greatest obstacle for most people is something far simpler. They only work when they feel like it. It sounds harmless, right? I'm just waiting to feel ready. Or I'll start when I'm in the mood. But here's the truth. Moods are the most unstable thing you could ever rely on. They are like the wind changing direction at any moment without warning. Let's imagine you are a ship's captain. Your mission is to reach an island far away. But instead of steering according to your map and compass, you decide to follow the wind wherever it goes. Sometimes it blows toward your destination. Sometimes it blows away from it. If you sail like that, you might travel a lot, but you'll never actually arrive. That's exactly what happens when you let your mood guide your work. A good mood is a gift, but it is not a strategy. It can make work feel lighter, but it should never decide whether you work at all. The moment you let mood be in charge, you hand over your future to something completely out of your control. Think about athletes. Do you think they train only when they feel like it? Do you think they wake up every single day excited to run, to lift the weights, to push their bodies? Of course not. There are days they hate it. There are mornings when their muscles ache, when they're tired, when their mind says, just rest. But they train anyway. Why? Because they know that championships are not won by mood, they are won by discipline. I've met so many young entrepreneurs who started strong but faded away. Not because they lack skill, but because they lack emotional consistency. One day they were inspired, making big plans. The next day they were frustrated and all progress stopped. That stop and start cycle is poison to success. If you only work on good days, you will never have enough days to finish anything meaningful. Let me say that again. If you only work on good days, you will never have enough days to finish anything meaningful. Now let's talk about why relying on mood is so dangerous. First, your mood is influenced by countless things outside your control. The weather, the news, other people's opinions, even how much sleep you got. If you let those things decide your productivity, you're not leading your life. You're just reacting to it. Second, moods can lie. You might feel like you're too tired to work, but once you start, you realize you have plenty of energy. You might feel like you're not in the creative mood, but if you just begin, ideas start flowing. Action often creates the very motivation you think you need. Third, moods are short-term, but goals are long-term. If you let short-term feelings control your long-term vision, you would never reach it. It's like planting a tree, but only watering it when you feel like it. The tree will die before it grows tall enough to give you shade. This is why successful people build systems, not feelings. Systems mean you do something at the same time, in the same way, no matter how you feel. It becomes a habit so strong that mood cannot interrupt it. Let me share a personal example. I once met a man who built a huge business starting from almost nothing. I asked him his secret. He said, I don't let my feelings decide my work. My work decides my feelings. What he meant was that every morning he followed a routine, making calls, meeting clients, improving his product, whether he felt good or not. Some days he felt amazing. Some days he felt terrible. But because he kept showing up, the results built up over time. And that's the hidden truth. Discipline doesn't just produce results. It produces confidence. When you see yourself taking action despite your mood, you start trusting yourself more. You realize, I can count on me. That is the foundation of real self-belief. But there's another part you need to understand. Relying on mood also destroys momentum. Momentum is like a snowball rolling downhill. At first, it's small and hard to push. But as it rolls, it grows and moves faster. If you stop, the snowball stops. And when you start again, you're back to pushing from zero. Every time you wait for the right mood, you lose all the speed you built. So, how do you escape this trap? You train yourself to act first and think later. You build non-negotiable habits. You tell yourself, no matter what, I will work for 1 hour today. Even if that 1 hour feels slow, even if you don't produce your best work, you've kept the chain alive. And over time, this builds mental strength. Here's a little secret. Most breakthroughs happen right after you push past the point where you wanted to quit. Your mood says stop, you keep going. And suddenly you find a new idea, a new opportunity, or a new level of energy. That's the reward for refusing to be a slave to your feelings. And let's be honest, if you let the mood control you, then every challenge will become excuse. You'll say, I'm too stressed. I'm too tired. I'm not in the right headspace. But if you learn to work through those feelings, you become unstoppable. So my friends, don't let a good mood be your only strategy. It's like building a house, but only working on sunny days you'll never finish. Build your life on discipline, on routines, on a vision that is so clear it pulls you forward, even when you feel like standing still. One day, you will look back and you won't remember how you felt on each day of the journey. You only see what you built. And you'll be proud, not because you always felt good, but because you kept going when you didn't